Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're now seeing some really big controversy coming out over here when it comes to Palworld, the kind of big game that's kind of taken the entire planet by surprise. And right now, this is going a little bit on the hardcore side because people are saying and trying to go boycott the game itself for number one, plagiarizing so much off of Pokemon, number two, for using AI, and number three, using AI in combination with Pokemon, and of course, all the creators' somewhat negativity when it comes to the game itself as a whole. Now, when it comes to this stuff, I kind of saw this very obviously. If any of you guys have ever actually seen Pokemon or looked at any type of Pokemon game, a lot of the characters are very as legally as probably close as possible to the characters themselves. And well, a lot of folks, anyone with a kind of an eye could probably go and see that, especially if you guys know anything about Pokemon. Now, I want to go talk about this, talk about my own opinions on this. Would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. And of course, if it's an issue or not, or what you guys kind of go and think. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Well, actually, funny enough, like all hypocritical aside, you're probably streaming some Palworld a little bit up on Twitch. If you guys want to follow up the Twitter if you guys want to, and subscribe if you guys are new. Let's dive on into the video itself. So as of right this second, we're seeing a lot, and we're talking a lot of media attention of people calling out, well, everything. Like, we're seeing a lot of different types of posts over here saying reminder not to support Palworld. It's not even subtle about its ripoffs, how much else has been stolen. And this is regards now to a very high level, just basically them kind of copy pasting a lot of different types of Pokemon stuff. Now, if you guys can look through a lot of different characters, a lot of things are kind of just like redrawn, 3D modeled, somewhat changed up a little bit for the legal discourse, or like putting like a flower about set around the neck on top of the head, etc. Now, first, high level, I just want to go and say, I think Palworld so far has been pretty fun. I'm not really a big fan of AI or copying art or stealing art in the first place, but when it comes to this stuff, I enjoyed the game. It's something a little bit different. It's a mixture of like Ark and other various types of games, but as well with a little other various types of like mismatch of like a Frankenstein of like a little bit of Pokemon, a little bit of progression, a little bit of FPS, a little bit of like automation, like a Satisfactory, Factorio. So like it's kind of a nice blending of genres, and the game itself is cool. Multiplayer, boss fights, everything. Like overall, I think the game is cool. It was also on Game Pass, and the sales are doing well. I think it's broke over 2 million total sales, which is, we kind of talked about that on a separate video, talking about like the PlayStation, Xbox, etc. type stuff. But I do want to say I'm also not a big fan of copying, art theft, etc. And of course, Pokemon has been very lackluster on their designs. They still technically had some cool ideas first, and you can definitely see a lot of inspiration and or AI that are making this work. Now, I think a bigger issue would be more on the AI generative stuff, which people are calling out. We'll talk about that in a second, but that's I think my more bigger issue. If they're utilizing AI to basically recreate these through the original Pokemon pictures and references, I do think that adds a lot more kind of negativity towards it. Am I part of like boycott this game? If you want to play it on Game Pass or buy the game or whatever, go for it. Like, I'm not one of those big patrollers over there. I'm not a big fan of AI. Don't get me wrong, not a big fan of AI. But at the same time, it's one of those things, if you want to play the game, I can't stop you. Go for it. Enjoy it. Whatever. If you're playing with your friends, whatever it might be. Now, I'm also always been concerned, though, on the future of people utilizing AI and everything else with it. So that's kind of one of the bigger things for it too overall. Now, so like I said, a lot of people are kind of calling us out now. There's been a lot of big views. This has 2.5 million views. The other prior post had a few million views, saying Steam's newest hit, Palworld, has been accused of plagiarizing designs from Pokemon as social media users negatively highlight its creators' history, though, with generative AI tools. This is also going to stem into as well for the fact of people are concerned about their AI generation, but part two of this is also in the fact that the actual owner, maker of the game has used AI in prior things, and use AI and other various things too as well, even for the game, prior games, or just even incentivizing and utilizing and pushing folks to use AI too as well. And when it comes to this type of stuff, we're seeing a lot of people, especially a lot of artists, calling out too as well. So anyway, Steam's newest hit survival game, Palworld, has been accused of plagiarizing designs from Pokemon as social media users negatively highlight its creators' historical association with generative AI tools. Palworld by Japanese studio Pocket Pair released into early access on PC and Xbox on Friday, and immediately became a breakout success, with its creator claiming 2 million sales in 24 hours. The huge launch exposure inevitably reignited a discourse that has followed Palworld since its announcement around its character design apparent similarities to Pokemon. Although the gameplay of Palworld is closer to survival games like Ark and Rust than Game Freak series, many social media users have noted the obvious influences its character designs have taken from the Nintendo series. Following Palworld's release on Friday, some X users collated perceived similarities between Palworld's pals and Pokemon. It's not even subtle about its ripoffs. How much else has it been stolen? wrote one user. Another edit, I want to like Palworld, but I don't know if I can support running existing Pokemon through a fuser and passing them off as a new IP. That's also another big thing too, because there is a thing called Poke Fusion, where they essentially go and combine two different types of Pokemon to add, like, say, specific effects, and it's kind of like somewhat AI automated, etc. And people have actually made physical games about it. They'll try to go make some high-level Pokemon games too as well. So that's one big thing to kind of go and know. And, well, people are sometimes going to be assuming that this might have been how they even came up with the creation of a lot of these different types of pals as well. Now, I'm going to keep it real. When I'm playing this game, I'm just calling everything Pokemon anyway at this point. Like, I'm just like, this is like legally as close as possible over there too as well. So they're seeing those type of stuff. We're seeing different types of artists. Saying, since I'm bored as hell, I'm going to be making a thread of this. I think Palworld design analysis trying to spot every Pokemon they jumbled together. Ear shape is admittedly different, though simplified, but coloring is a match, same gradients. Neck thing from this also the Arcane 2 as well. So they're basically trying to say, like, hey, we're seeing these different types of Poke Fusion things that have been popular, and people have utilized these as websites, etc. And you can kind of see and look at these different characters. And, like, they have a comparison between all this type of stuff. Or they look at these other various big popular Pokemon, it's just kind of a combination of a few different things. Like, this looks like a combination of, like, 3 different mons of, like, their fighting pose, the body type, their outfit, look at the flowers, look at the details, the toes, as well, in terms of also, like, a mixture, basically, of 3 Pokemon into an AI program that drive it all into one thing. So you basically have this guy's body type, same also hairstyle too. You have this for the gradient and color scheme as well to mix it on up. You have this guy with his little neck thing too as well, and the tail, all combined together to make this random monster. Now we also have other various things too, such as Depresso, which I'll be honest with you guys is probably one of my favorite pals too as well. We can kind of go and see just various consistencies when it comes to design itself, and they look towards it, and they can see this in a lot of other various people too as well. Now, I'm intrigued because I want to hear your thoughts. Like, once again, like, I can see this. Like, you guys look at this types of stuff, you can see this. People are even at the points of, like, these artists are just wishing that this was just more consistent too as well. And, like, even people are looking like the Meowin, like, Meowth. Like, they have different various types of the Pokemon. They also have, like, Sobbles as well. And if you kind of look through the game, a lot of these characters are very, very consistent. So the situation is further muddled with eyes and some of PokePair's historical relationship with generative AI tools. Artist Zayturi noted on X that one of its previous titles was AI Art Imposter, a game which literally utilizes an AI image generator as its core mechanic of the game itself. And the user also then highlighted multiple historical X posts by PokePair CEO Takuro Mizobi, in which he appeared to praise the potential of AI image generators and for content creation, and the use of generative AI significantly pressure point in many creative industries, including video games, with tools such as Midjourney being criticized as well. And there's also even been big issues we even saw with Magic the Gathering and even Apex, of them basically utilizing AI for creation stuff to go and make marketing assets for free or very, very minimal price. And now people are kind of curious on how this can even be made into the game itself, as they're basically copy and pasting into the 3D models and making Palworld into this one. If you guys also looked at Palworld, there's a lot of other various characters too, besides the ones we showcase that are quite literally very close to Pokemon. Once again, though, I think the game's cool. I don't mind the game. I'm playing the game itself, but I also do want to go and highlight the fact of being somewhat hypocritical on my own end, I'll admit to it, of not really being the biggest fan of AI, although I have said on my YouTube channel before, like, there's potential for AI when it comes to, let's say, making quests or making decisions. If you guys know a famous analog for me, it's saying, like, you have, like, a game like a Skyrim, and you can basically input a quest or a specific dungeon you want to make. Like, I'm not the world's most against AI, but I'm not a big fan of stealing and basically utilizing stuff, which is getting a little bit kind of skeeting their line around for this game. So one of the PokePair CEO's X-Post discussed how he believed that generative AI tools could one day be sophisticated enough to avoid copyright issues. In another potentially more damning post from 2021, Mizobi also showed how AI can be used to generate new Pokemon designs. And this kind of goes into this random clip over here too, where they have a chance to utilize this and show how they can make their own people. So here's a clip of gameplay that shows the game utilizing an AI image generator. It's one thing for a game to include AI generated assets, which is already bad. I don't know if why you can think it'd be okay either, but to include an entire generator itself is much, much worse. And this is kind of why a lot of folks have been kind of curious on this too, because people are trying to say, like, hey, this game is cool, but we can't really support AI. A lot of artists too as well are very, very against it, and that's just one of those things overall. So it's crazy to go and see this, because the game itself does have good commercial success, but it seems like a lot of artists and people who make games, game developers, etc., have been very, very against this from the start. Now, I kind of can tell you guys from the very start, there's a lot of things that look like Pokemon, but I kind of expected that. Like, I wasn't expecting like some AAA major game. I'm expecting someone to meme around where you can go and catch whatever you guys want and go and put them towards, like, you know, put them on the trees and the mines and go from there. But I want to hear your thoughts. Like, is it some big issue? Are you guys gonna be worried about this one? Are you guys just trying to have fun playing the game? Let me know in the comment section down below. We'll be streaming this all on Twitch if you guys would like. We also have the Twitter down below if you guys want to follow, and of course subscribe if you guys are new. Give me your thoughts and comments and everything down below.